Hello, Homer Sherrist here, and what I'd like to do is just spend a little time with you here talking a bit on shop safety. In the workshop today you have so many power tools and equipment around that safety is definitely a thing that you want to be on top of all the time, because it can be a very dangerous place if you're not alert and watching what happens. The first thing I'd like to do is just talk a little bit about a table saw in terms of safety. For instance, as you realize, when that blade turns on a table saw, that blade is turning in your direction at all times. And this always leaves an opening for kickback or anything. If that blade catches something, it's going to come back at you. And if you're aware of that, you can make some adjustments to your personal body that you don't have to be in direct line of fire of that. And for instance, when you put that in like this here, say you're going to rip this down. Okay, you're running that through at a pace like this here. Now, of course, what you want to do is always use a push stick when you get near to where you're going. Eh? Never keep your fingers or your hands close to that blade, because things can happen so fast and so easily. Bang, there goes your fingers. And unfortunately they're not replaceable, so you only have so many to use up, and that's it. But by doing that, you can certainly be a little more aware of what's going on. Now also, because of kickback and anything coming back at you, I recommend that you always stand off to the side of that blade, never directly behind it, so that if something does come back, chances are it's going to go flying by you and not into you. So that certainly is something you want to keep in mind. Now also, when you are cutting, say, larger boards on an edge like this, it is so easy if you have just hold of that band. If something should happen to your footing or whatever, that you slip, there's a real good chance that your hand is going to end up in that blade. So what I recommend is, with your fence, cup your fingers over top of the edge of that fence, so that if something happens, you're still in control because you're hooked over that fence. And run your material through at that rate. Now another thing that I have found for safety-wise to eliminate kickback and that, and this is especially on very thin material, say 1 inch thick, this type of thing, is to clamp say a piece of 3/4 inch, just so your material just slides underneath that. It prevents it from being able to lift and makes it a lot safer to work through, because thin material can certainly kick back just like that. It's something that you really have to watch all the time. Okay, now going over to the bandsaw here, put that in place here. Both shops have bandsaws in that, and in relationship to the table saw, the bandsaw is actually quite safe to use, simply because you don't have kickback problems with the bandsaw. The teeth on the blade continuously go downward, pulling your material tight against the table. So it is very stable in that respect. It's not like a jigsaw or anything like that where you have vibrations and movement. Your material stays put right there. So as you bring your material through a bandsaw like this here, it is good practice. Once again, that blade is a cutting blade. It will cut fingers, it will cut anything. So the idea is to don't get too close to it. Always remain away from it. As your wood goes through, you want to start to, from this side you're pushing it through. As it goes through, you want to start to pull it through as you go along, just to prevent yourself from slipping and going into that blade. It works very well. Okay, thank you very much.